Hello, welcome to episode 46 of Shoreline Music Monthly. My name is Mark Koschwitz. We've got a great musical guest tonight we'll get to in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second to give you a little update on a couple of recent events that, you may have been at. If you remember episode 44, we had Adelaide on, and she talked a little bit about the third pumpkin stock that was coming up. And coincidentally, that evening, our musical guest, Kate Callahan, was going to be performing at that. That went off wonderfully. And they raised almost $500 to help survivors of traumatic brain injuries. So way to go, Adelaide, and your team. Very nice. And in mid-September, one of my favorite local ones, Boob Stock, paying it forward since 2013. This year, I believe, was the most successful ever. They raised over $8,500 to be divided between the Middlesex Cancer Center and the Smilo Cancer Hospital. And it's always so great to see so many Shoreline Music Monthly alumni out there giving back. And thanks to X-Ray and Old Dog New Trick for letting me sneak in on a couple. Events that leave the world a better place than they found them are always inspiring to me, and I thanks to all the folks out there that put in so much time and effort to make these things happen. We really do appreciate it. And remember, if you're working on a charity event, if it's going to have music, feel free to hit us at shorelinemusicmonthly@gmail.com, and we will help you get the word out. All right. Now on to our musical guests. I'm very, very excited tonight to have in the studio with me at least a subset of Creamery Station.
How's it going, Mark?
How are you?
Good to be here.
Glad to have you gentlemen on. I have to my left Dylan Kader, and to my right I have Jon Truelson and Don DeStefano. And Don's the one I already knew.
Yeah.
You'd think I wouldn't stumble over that.
Everyone stumbles on that name.
Who doesn't know Don over here, though?
All right.
We can't even spell it.
So welcome. You guys were tearing it up on the festival circuit this year. I went from not being aware of you folks to all of a sudden you're everywhere. How long have you guys been doing this thing?
Just short of what I would say 3 years now at this point, and even much to our surprise, we've been getting a lot of positive attention, and for which we could not be more appreciative. It's a wacky business, this whole music industry scene, but Connecticut has so much to offer in terms of talented musicians and our colleagues throughout the state, and I think we owe a lot of our recent attention to many of our colleagues who have been helping us along. Max Creek with opening shows. We're fortunate to be opening for Melvin Seals with the Jerry Garcia Band this Friday, and in 3 years, as you might guess, I'm the elder statesman, shall we say, of the ensemble. I've been doing this for quite some time, and all the acts that I've worked with over the years, I've never seen this much attention happen so quickly.
Yeah, it's really been quite something.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the whole, we call it the Station Nation, is what we call our whole crew behind us, and it's a family affair, really. And that has to be a big driving force why we got onto the festival scene and why we keep getting hit back for bigger gigs, and we couldn't be more happy with the attention we've gotten, really, and we're really excited about it. Like, I gotta say, we appreciate the fans for that one, really, because if they don't come out and they don't appreciate us and support us, then you don't really get to play, and they're the ones that get us playing music, and that's what we really want to do.
The minute we figure out what we're doing right, that's when it all falls apart.
It's really only been a year we've had it really hard this past year. Because I think before then, we were all in other bands. This was like a part-time thing that we were kind of flushing out and fooling around with, and then it was just this, I think last summer we decided
Full time.
Let's do it.
This is something special.
Yeah, we could see that we had like a certain magic going on, and we could see the response of our crowds. Everyone's just saying, "Yeah, this looks like
nice.
It's something it could be."
Now we got you guys here tonight, but there's more in the band here, right? I mean, why don't we talk a little bit about the guys who who can't make it or aren't here tonight.
They'll be showing up at my place in about 2 hours for rehearsal. And we have on guitar, Jim Kader, Lightning Jimmy John Kader, we like to refer to him as, a guitar playing wizard. On bass, we have Dan Rauchi, also virtuoso of the instrument. On the drums and also on vocals, our very own Harry Cooper. And then on percussion, also switching off on drums on certain numbers, we have the inimitable Michael Ryan, who is, you can catch Mike all over the state.
He's an alumni here. I think I saw him on a couple shows here, actually.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so he covers most of the Latin percussion, but as I say, also sits in on the traps as well.
Very nice. It's good to have a good crew.
One, two, three, four. Well, I hope when you wake in the morning and see that in the night I've gone, you don't waste your time with that worry on your mind. You know you went and did me wrong. You did me wrong. You did me wrong. It's hard for me to say you did me wrong. It didn't start this way, but when I went away, you know you went and did me wrong. Well, I've had some hardships and trials. You know that I've had my share of fun. But when I wasn't home and I left you all alone, you know you went and did me wrong. You did me wrong. You did me wrong. It's hard for me to say you did me wrong. It didn't start this way, but when I went away, you know you went and did me wrong. Well, I gave you my heart for safekeeping, a foolish act I wish I'd never done. You say it's still intact, but you'll never give it back, even though you went and did me wrong. You did me wrong. You did me wrong. It's hard for me to say you did me wrong. It didn't start this way, but when I went away, you know you went and did me wrong. You did me wrong. You did me wrong. It's hard for me to say you did me wrong. It didn't start this way, but when I went away, you know you went and did me wrong. Nice.
And I was looking at the your website and the music that you guys have out. There's a lot of different writers.
Right.
I think I saw each of your names attached to something on the page. So that's got to give you some different sounds, different vibes.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that are going for us that we're very eclectic. And we have a lot of different pulls, the genres that we all have learned from and built over the years. And each of us has our own songs coming in. And they don't even become the song that it was. We make a Creamery song out of it, which is the coolest thing. So even songs, every now and then he'll be, well, it's a Dylan Kader song. And I'm always pretty quick to correct that it's a Creamery Station song, actually, because it wouldn't be the same if it was just me on it. And it's definitely a collaborative effort when we're putting them together. But it's cool to see.
Everybody puts their flavor in. And
right. We had to practice, and things will be cool. It'll be a song, definitely. But then, like, well, what if we do this? And it ends up going into something else. Let's try something new, you know? And that's when it becomes a real Creamery Station song, I think.
Songs we recorded over a year ago that we're performing live now, which have gelled into a completely different song.
Right,
and now we have to talk about going back in the studio and re-recording it.
2.0.
Yeah, re-recording it the way we play it now.
Or do you preserve
you're recording
history?
now,
Yeah.
right? Is that the...
Constantly recording.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 3 new numbers baking in the oven right now.
Okay, so you've got, there's an album out, right? Because I've seen that around.
Yeah, we have 10 songs on that, and then we have 3 more coming. We have some more originals still in the works and stuff. I think we have around 16 or 17 originals right now that we're doing. And I think 14 or 13 of them we're playing out consistently. And I think it's one of those things, yeah, it keeps growing over time. And we play so much that, I mean, the same people come into all of our shows that we try and keep it
You got to keep it fresh.
new. Yeah, keep it fresh for everybody, right? So when he's saying like a 2.0 to this song, it's kind of, it's necessary, but it's also the evolution of live music, where things happen and we create something new out of it. And that's what's so spontaneous and so fun that people want to keep coming back to our shows. So what are we going to do next? I think we have over 120 songs in our arsenal that we could pull out, and we keep adding more songs to it. We keep going back, changing old ones, adding new things, keeping them fresh. What John said, Don is notorious for thinking of cool ideas of songs and going into something else or hearing a melody and sending us all in a loop, and then we all have to follow him. And then, but then the next time we figure it out a little better, and it's a learning experience on stage, but it's a beautiful thing. And I think that's the coolest thing about this scene that we're in, that we get to see an evolution of an actual living entity, which is music, rather than just the studio version played over and over again every time we
Always
play
the
it.
same.
Right.
Takes on a life of its own.
No, yeah, the
Right.
band is very improvisational. It's
Could become a monster, though.
We have like general outlines of songs and what happens between the beginning and the end, and sometimes even the ends change because the ends become the beginning of another song.
drift into
Right.
Yeah,
somewhere
drifts
else.
into something else. It's just, we never know.
You say that you need me, believe me, I know that it's true. You say that you need me, believe me, I know that it's true. Show me that you love me before I get those railroad blues. Well, we're 50 miles from nowhere. Could it be that's bothering you? Yeah, we're 50 miles from nowhere. Could it be that's bothering you? I'll be 100 miles tried to reach you, baby. I think that you already knew. Yeah, I tried to reach you, baby. I think that you already knew. I think it might be that time I dig up my old railroad blues. I said I think it might be that time I dig up my old railroad blues.
Now the name. Is there any story behind the name, or was that just?
Many people ask us that question.
Right. It's a funny story. I mean, I always tell people it's a weird name. It's hard to think about what it means at first, but you'll never forget it once you do know what it is, you know. And it's we're from a farm in Bethany that was originally called the Creamery Dairy when it was an active farm. It's no longer active. We bought it. My family bought it after it was an active farm, but we still hang out there. And there's this building in it we call the Creamery Building. It's where we hang out, play our music. We have our parties, hang out. We have fires.
Churn the butter.
There. Right, we churn butter in there and this and that. We feed the goats.
Feed the goats.
Yeah, lots of feeding the goats. And it's a place where we kind of like turn into a family. And it's a throwback to where we're from. And like the station part, I suppose, about being a destination on the journey of life, you know? And I think it's about moving forward and just being a part of that and constantly moving forward as a group, you know? It's a throwback to where we're from and also where we're going. So I think it's a meaningful name when you get to know what it is. At first, everybody's what the heck is that thing? Actually,
That was my first thought.
Yeah, one time actually we had a big sign in front of our house at first that said Creamery Station, and a couple girls pulled up, and my dad went out there because she thought it was one of my friends or something, and they were wondering if the creamery was open, if we're still serving ice cream for the day. And we had to explain how it was a band, and I think he gave them some CDs, and they were on their way. But it's a funny name, but it's very memorable, I'd say.
Now, if you started bringing ice cream to the gigs.
Hey, we've had talks about this, for sure.
The dairy aspect, after all, is one of the 4 major food groups, right along with fat, calories, and salt.
We did that at a festival once, actually.
Yeah, we did at Camp Creek a few years ago. We had an early set when we first started hitting the festival scene.
Creamery Station Creamery?
Yeah, well, we did a coffee and
set.
cream.
We put coffee and cream out.
Right. It was clever, and it got all those people out there for, I think it was like a 9 or 10 a.m. set or something like that when we first started hitting the scene, and it worked, and people saw it, and they came for the coffee and stuck around for the cream, you know, as it is, you know, and just little gimmicks like that. Anything to really push your band. There's like John said, there's so many great bands in this area. It's what sets you apart from the others, I think, is really important, and that's just working hard on the promo and having faith in what you're doing. And I think we have a lot of that.
If you get people to, with whatever it is, coffee and cream, whatever it takes. I mean, if you've got something that people are going to dig, you got to get them to see it.
Right.
So that's.
We have a lot of faith in our music. We just need to get the people there, you know, and that's why we work so hard, practicing every week. We play out every week, and we stick at it. I mean, sometimes we don't get as much sleep as maybe we should, but it's part of the drive, and we have the drive for it. You know, we really want it, and that's
now.
happy to be here.
Keeping in mind, I mean, this won't air until almost mid-November. I kind of looked down your tour schedule a little. I saw New Year's Eve at Toad's Place. That's pretty hot gig.
As I
That's
said,
going to be a
Max Creek,
happening night.
they're our family, man. They're amazing people, Max Creek, and they've shown us a lot of love, and they've supported us along the way on the way up, and we couldn't be more appreciative of those guys. And to be able to be the New Year's Eve show with them, it just blows my mind, especially at Toad's, because Toad's is another place that they gave us a big shot when we weren't really anything too big or anything, and we've worked really hard promoting there, and we love the people at Toad's. Hollis over there, she's a great gal, and she gives us awesome opportunities. We just played with Keller there a few weeks ago, and
Saw that.
yeah, we keep pushing it. So to be able to put those two things together, Max Creek and Toad's that we love, and all of our hometown friends in the New Haven area, we hope you all come out for that one. It'll be great. New Year's Eve at Toad's Place.
I'd be pleased just to love you, if you don't mind. I don't know too much about you, but I got time. I'd be pleased just to love you, if you don't mind. Every day I think about you, wherever I go. Are you free? Could you see me? I really don't know. I'd be pleased just to let you. I guess it don't show. Well, I try to do things right, but I don't know just what that is. If I could say what's on my mind, I'd never tell you quite like this. I'd be pleased just to love you, if you don't mind. Well, I know you won't believe I've never felt like this before. If you stay with me tonight, I'm sure I'll try to tell you more. I'd be pleased just to love you, if you don't mind. I'd be pleased just to love you, if you don't mind. I don't know too much about you, but I got time. I'd be pleased just to love you, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. If you don't mind. If you don't mind.
Thanks again for watching Shoreline Music Monthly. Remember, you all are the local in the local music scene, so get out and catch a show. We'll see you next month. Thanks.